New Mind, New Me from Bishop David G. Evans.
I want to be loved. Why do I take the person that loves me and kick them to the curb? I want to be wealthy, but I spend all my money. You were created and given a slave, a doulos, a servant called your mind. Your mind is out of order when it questions your command.
If you are ready for true transformation, Bishop David G. Evans would like to bless you with the New Mind, New Me 4-message DVD set. Order today, and you will also receive Bishop Evans' national best-selling book, Healed Without Scars, as well as the Healed Without Scars music CD.
My mind's going where I tell it to go. It'll never go back. It's my mind. It's going to do what I say.
All yours when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today. Be prepared to watch a new you emerge.
It's now easier than ever to stay connected with David G. Evans and the Bethany Baptist Church family. Follow the ministry and rejoice in all that God is doing by following us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. On Facebook, you'll be up to date on the latest happenings. You can watch our Sunday services on Facebook Live, 8 and 11 a.m. Eastern.
Here comes the power. Hallelujah.
Words of wisdom and encouragement can be found on Twitter, and you'll get up to the minute sermon points as they happen in our weekly worship services. Follow us on Instagram and be blessed by the inspirational and special moments that are highlighted each week, and meet the people who are the heart of our ministry. And if it's a video you want, subscribe to the Bethany Baptist Church channel on YouTube. See the celebrations, the special events, and the many, many people who are helping to transform lives one at a time. Stay connected with David G. Evans on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, and become a member of our broadcast family today.
Adversaries come in many forms, but you will be victorious when you realize that worship is warfare.
Adversaries are necessary because without them, you never really discover your purpose.
We've accepted what somebody told us we were in our past. So our past is sabotaging our ability to hear instruction.
We are not much unlike a battery. The negative is the thing that's needed to produce the power.
I empowered you to overcome everything you've overcome up to this present moment. I fixed you for what's going to happen after this. You were in the mind of God long before you were ever born.
You are not alone in your battle. God has your back because worship is warfare. Put these 4 messages in your arsenal today on CD or DVD. Equip yourself by visiting our website or by calling 1-800-591-8480. Isn't it time to stop reliving your past hurts and move on to a bright and hopeful future?
I have a right to be upset, but I don't have a right to be wounded for the rest of my life. So I choose to be healed.
Get rid of the bitter poison that unforgiveness administers to the soul with Bishop David G. Evans. Forgive again, live again.
It's a liberating experience, and being able to forgive someone and forgiving yourself. It's liberating.
Forgiveness will deliver me in 3 dimensions. From what happened, from who it happened with, from when it happened. Because sometimes you'll get free from the what, but the who will still have you bound.
This highly sought-after 4-part message of healing can be yours on CD or DVD. Act now, and we'll include Bishop's book, Healed Without Scars, with your order absolutely free. All yours when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today.
Allow God's living waters to wash over you and refresh your soul.
You've been praying for yourself when the answer is in praying for other people. While I'm praying for California, God shows up in my house.
As kingdom people, with the king in us and us being sovereign ground, we are not governed by the laws of this land, but we're governed by the laws of heaven.
He's talking about you. Going to draw water from the wells of salvation. Where's the well? In you.
If we want to release the water, watch this, we don't have to pray for it to come. Where we are now, we pray for it to be released.
Release deliverance and transformation in every area of your life through God's living waters. This revitalizing 3-message series can be yours on CD or DVD when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today.
Position yourself to receive from God with Bishop David G. Evans teaching When Men Pray.
Have there been times when you have asked someone to pray for you and the prayer has not been answered? Because instead of praying for yourself, you waited until someone else that you thought had more power would pray for you. Prayer is something that you resort to immediately and not as a last resort. You need to learn how to pray preemptively. You need how to pray ahead of time. Don't always be praying in response. Pray proactively. Pray before it happens. Lord, cover my child. Lord, bless my day.
Develop your relationship with God with this dynamic teaching on CD or DVD when you write to us. Visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480.
Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to OnPointe, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America, live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on any smart device at David G. Evans 1. I would like you to please help us spread the word about OnPointe. You can like us, of course. Very important that you do that. Subscribe to us, of course, extremely important. Invite your friends to follow us and hit that notification button so every time OnPointe is on or anything connected with our platforms, you can join us in these great conversations. So like, subscribe, share so others can join in these conversations. We're so glad you joined us today, as OnPointe is all about discussing the things that matter in life and nationally, internationally, locally, from a kingdom biblical perspective, always from a kingdom perspective, so that we get God's view, a scriptural view of the events that are happening all around us. The Bible talks about the sons of Issachar who understood the times, but that was not enough, and they knew exactly what to do. So we hope with OnPointe that we're helping you not only understand the times, but know what to do biblically in the situation, in the culture that we live, the season that we find ourselves. Of course, joining us once again is our world-famous co-host, Reverend Nicholas Smith. We invite you to give us a call today at 866-743-8267. That's toll free, 866-743-8267, 866-74-EVANS. Give us a call. How you doing this morning, man?
Doing okay this morning.
Doing all right?
Yeah, man, we here.
Yeah, we here. I sometimes wonder what number of programs we are on as it relates to the OnPointe broadcast. How long OnPointe has been going on, what number of programs that puts us in.
I don't even remember.
We know it's been every week for
because it was
we've been here what
2000.
Yeah, so 2022 we probably started back then with Pastor Kyle and when he was our partner up here.
I knew I wasn't married, so it had to be 2005, 4.
Okay.
Somewhere around 2008.
Okay. And we've been on every week since then.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I thought about that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So
we
that's
had 100 episodes.
That's 20 times
episode and
52. We got some episodes here.
Yeah. Yeah. Very rarely have we had to put a tape in.
Right.
Extremely
20 years times 52 times a year. That should give us somewhere around
1,040
episodes.
If it's 20 years, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Years.
It is.
Yeah.
Over 1,000 episodes, 1,000 broadcasts of OnPointe. Some of you have been with us almost that long. If you have, call in this morning, if you're listening today, and tell us how long ago you joined us on OnPointe. Now, 866-743-8267, toll free around the world, 866-743-8267. Now, you can also hit us up on Facebook this morning. Where else are we?
YouTube also. And our website.
And our website. You can hit us up on all those, have conversation with you. Don't want to call in? Write in, and we'll respond to your posts. Facebook is a very good place if you're a Facebook type person. Now, a lot going on.
Yeah.
We don't normally get into personal stuff with people and the troubles that they get, and I think that's one of the hallmarks of our program. And it may it may not afford us to do a lot of drama, like a lot of programs go for that drama so they can get some listeners and followers and all, but we don't do that. And we're certainly not going to start. What do you think the political impact of what has happened with Herschel Walker is going to happen? Do you think it's going to change the vote? You don't think it's going to change it at all?
No, this is where I not get into his personal life in detail.
No, that's his business.
But what it shows me is the contradictory nature of conservative.
Yeah, we've been
Christian
saying that for years.
systems.
We've been saying that for
Now
years.
all of a sudden, family values aren't that important. But one lady came out and said, what it's really about is power.
Okay.
Being in position,
Okay.
Congress, president,
Okay.
to make rules.
Okay.
So now it's who cares what your personal life is like, as long as you're going to implement these policies.
As long as you do what I tell you to do,
We're cool.
then we're all right with you.
Because anybody with sense would know. Let's take the personal stuff aside.
Mhm.
Just from what Herschel Walker talks about,
Mm-hmm.
you know he's not ready to lead.
Something's
anything.
wrong with him.
Yeah.
You know, and when you compare him to Warnock, it's like chalk and cheese, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I would hope that we would want the most capable person in office. But as we know, even in corporate life and in life, the most capable person is not always the one that occupies the position.
Absolutely. I mean, so they're running through all the gamut. This was before, it was his past, he's a different person now.
But
et
that
cetera.
wouldn't have mattered. And then yesterday, some more stuff came out.
Yeah.
That there was another suggestion for an abortion, and his son is really going off, and his son, as hard and as masculine as his son, as Herschel is, the son seems to be the total opposite.
Yes. The other side opposite.
Yeah.
But you have these Christian Republicans praying for Herschel Walker, saying that it's God's will for him to be in office.
No.
So he can stop these abortions and bring stuff in line. But what he is, and let's call it what it is another token.
Okay.
To put up.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
But
I don't. And what offended me about the whole thing was one of the, not him, because that's another subject, but one of the people supporting him said he made a mistake.
Yeah.
You make mistakes with erasers and pencils.
Right.
You make mistake and you delete them on your computer.
Mm-hmm.
Aborting a child is not a mistake.
Right. Yeah.
She relegated it to a mistake.
Yeah. Now, if it was somebody else liberal, it wouldn't be a mistake.
No, their hair would be on fire.
Murderer and all that stuff.
Hair would be on fire.
And then he lied and said that he didn't pay for the stuff, but they got track records of him paying for it.
But that's okay too with people that are supporting him.
Yeah.
But if I had to choose between just on visible capability, articulated intelligence, rationality, logic, there's no comparison between Walker and Warnock.
None at all. If your own family's not going to vote for you, you know something ain't right. I'm just saying. That's like you start a church and nobody from your family comes.
That's,
I get a few of them.
That's a
Maybe not all
problem.
of them, but
That's a problem.
Nobody.
Yeah, that's a problem. Like your mom don't come.
Right. Nobody. Come on. Like.
So tell me, let's shift off Herschel for a minute, and you all can call in. You know, you can call in and comment, and you know, we try to be as gracious and merciful to everyone. How do you feel about Biden pardoning all federal offenses of simple marijuana possession?
I'm actually fine with it.
Okay, tell me why.
Because he's not pardoning people that are out there like selling drugs and all that stuff like that.
Okay.
So somebody was caught with like a dime bag of weed.
Okay.
Recreational.
Okay.
And they were arrested for it.
Okay.
For federal. This is not state.
Okay.
This is not for future offenses. These are all previous offenses on a federal level.
Okay. Previous offenses.
Previous offenses on a federal level.
Okay.
The reason why I'm okay with it is because we've been locking people up for more years than they should.
Sure.
Just for some weed.
Sure.
Number one. Number two, when you have politicians and corporations making billions of dollars off marijuana, and you're locking up all these black and brown people. And now, mind you, white people do drugs just as much as black people do.
Yes, if not more.
If not more.
Yeah.
Why are they should? How are you going to sit there and say it's legal to sell it this way, and then lock all these people up? It just doesn't.
But then there's a continuity that you're introducing, because you were saying that the reason you're okay with it is because it was past stuff. But you brought a future comparison into it with people selling it now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The pardon is not for people that have, like, say they got arrested today,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna get convicted in the future.
Mhm.
So,
Now, what kind of time did those people get for simple possession?
let me see. Simple possession.
We've got Tom from Fort Lauderdale on the line. You can give us a call as our resident statistician is looking up the answer to my question. Tom from Fort Lauderdale is on. There's room for others to call. You can give us a call right now as the lines are starting to light up.
A Class A misdemeanor carries about a year in jail or a
Okay.
fine up to $1,000 on your first charge.
Okay.
So that's why I think they're keeping it. To me, this is a good baseline because it's simple possession. It's not like
But the action would imply that there are people in jail for more than a year.
well, let me see.
That's what the action would imply. There's some folk are serving time.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. They're
Yeah.
keeping it simple. So, but see, it's I hate to use the phrase "smoke and mirrors."
Okay.
I think it's good, but he's also not going to toe the line of letting some big drug dealer out that's been
Okay.
selling drugs for.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
a simple possession.
Yeah.
You got
Recreational
caught,
use.
You got caught, bang.
Okay.
Versus letting out, a known
But
drug dealer.
I'm wondering if the sentences has been equitable.
See, that's the thing. It's not really going into details of how.
Because the law
much.
at times has not made sense to me. Like you have that woman in Texas who was directed to go register to vote.
Mhm.
She did what she was told to do,
Yep.
and they sent her to jail for a number of years.
Mhm.
I don't get the correlation between that
Yep.
and you drunk drive, kill somebody,
Right. And you get
and they give you 6 months
6 months. Yeah.
probation, depending on who you are and what you know.
Yep. Totally agree with you. And the whole when you get out of, we have to do a better job at when our inmates get out of jail of helping them assimilate back to life.
Mhm.
They have to have some restrictions. I'm not saying take them all away,
Absolutely.
but the harshness of the system leads it leads them right back to going back to jail if they made one small mistake.
I'm not, this could be naive on my part. I'm not sure that the system, let's call it that, is appropriately responsive to different situations.
Right.
I think there's a blanket thrown over, there's a 20-year blanket in jail thrown over something minor, and a 20-year blanket thrown over something that should be life.
Yep. Yes.
And it just does not seem to, the law at times does not seem to apply appropriately to a situation.
Yeah. So yeah, it's really just simple. So I'll give him this because again, it's just, but there are people who got caught with it. If you didn't have a good lawyer
Mm-hmm.
and you're in a certain situation, you getting a year to 3 years just for walking around.
But that's another inequity of the legal system. I have an acquaintance who is a pretty high-powered lawyer, and his standard statement is, if you don't have any money, you don't have a legal problem. You don't have a problem. It's going to go against you.
Mm-hmm.
But if you got some, you get some representation
Yep.
that is, can perform.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that can be done.
Look, we've seen people get off of murder,
Mm-hmm.
other insane stuff
Yeah.
because of good legal representation.
Yeah. Let's go to Tom. Morning, Tom. How you doing? Hey, Tom. Can't get him yet. What's going on with this thing today? Oh, boy. We're having a little trouble with our board here this morning.
Neither one's working.
I don't know. It looks a little weird today. Do we have a screener upstairs? Hello?
Yeah, Phil's upstairs, yeah.
Okay, so we're not getting, Phil, we need your help. Okay, we lost Tom. Tom's going to call back. Whoever's on line 3. Not getting it. Good morning. Good morning.
Okay. So,
Morning.
no. Okay.
We got an an issue. Okay, let's keep
Yes,
talking.
yeah.
Well, you guys hold on. We're getting it fixed.
Yep.
Or if Tom, if you are online, you can throw us your question or your comment, and we will respond to it, of course. It's weird. They're blinking at different rates, too. That's really strange. So anyway, I'm becoming more discouraged with the American political scene because the board's not working at all. So the Republicans now want to block a bill that requires disclosure of big donors. That is, to me, that just stinks.
Mm-hmm.
It's so obvious a dodge, not just for money for political campaigns, but money to enrich themselves.
Yes.
That they do not want disclosed.
Yes.
That's what this is really
It's
all
really
about.
it. Keep your donors dark, so nobody knows how you getting your money, where you getting your money. But so the whole system. So
Yeah.
when it came out with Sarah Palin,
Yes.
when you were allowed to donate to a campaign,
Mm-hmm.
I think he's on there.
Is it on there? Tom?
Hey.
Hey,
Tom,
man.
Hey, Tom.
How you doing? We got another line blinking, but you guys can start calling in again. Good morning, Tom.
Yeah, also, we're going over the air live right now because I know this is no delay, so you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so you got to be careful what you say, Tom.
I'm never going there. But, Bishop, a couple things though.
Yeah.
First is you were asking people who've been on the show a long time.
Yeah.
I stopped around 2012.
Okay.
But 2006 is when I started.
Wow.
And you used to have this guy called Roger.
Yes.
I used to get a kick out of him.
Yeah, Roger was a
out there.
character. He was a character.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, Roger was one of our longtime callers. He was faithful, too.
Yeah, he was.
yeah. So I started calling around that time. Then when I moved to Florida, I kind of backed off. But then I guess now about 2-3 years again. But
Yeah. So
I
2006
love
is when you started with us.
Yeah. I just
Wow.
love being able to air my view with so many people and get in something.
Yeah.
Now, Bishop, you were talking about the marijuana thing.
Yeah.
It varies from state to state, but the other part is when it comes to drugs and brown people,
Mm-hmm.
this new epidemic with the fentanyl, as you notice, they treat it very different than crack because of who it's affecting. I think the same thing with marijuana in the past, which, people, I understand people selling to get busted, but people who are only smoking doing real time does not make any sense, I don't think. And I'm glad the President did what he did.
Take me back to the fentanyl piece. Flesh that out a little bit.
Well, fentanyl, especially if you look right across the bridge in Philadelphia,
Mm-hmm.
you have people, it's a replacement for heroin. A lot of people are dying over it.
Yeah.
And people are saying how bad it is, and these people shouldn't go to jail. They need to go to rehab. And police aren't going after the, they're going after the dealers. They're not going after the victims of fentanyl compared with crack cocaine. They went directly after both. If you were caught with just a little bit of crack cocaine, you're doing major time. If you're caught with just a little bit of fentanyl, you're a victim of a fentanyl.
Is that because of who the customer base is?
I think part of it is because some of the way, from my understanding, it may not be true of all of it,
Okay.
total, but a lot of the people buying the drugs don't know there's fentanyl in there.
Okay.
They're mixing it in there. That's why you're seeing all these deaths pop
So
up.
they're using it as a, what are they,
What's that called?
rather than baking soda and all
Yeah,
that.
they're using stuff.
Okay.
Like one kid, for instance, his crazy. This one drug dealer had his nephew, I believe, helping him put the drugs together.
That was over here.
You remember that?
Yeah.
And died from
just
just
exposure.
putting it together, the exposure of it.
Fentanyl is that deadly.
Yeah. So Michael K. Williams, the actor, a couple comedians and stuff, just over the last year have died from fentanyl.
Michael K. Williams died from that?
Yeah, the actor, yeah.
I knew. I thought it was drug related. I didn't know it was fentanyl.
It was fentanyl in there. And they went after his drug dealer.
Okay.
Because obviously he didn't know there was fentanyl in there.
Wow.
But the whole crack cocaine versus powder cocaine thing, from the 80s is,
Yeah. And getting something back to fentanyl, when I get off the radio, I'm going over, because I volunteer at Salvation Army sometimes, and there's a lot of people that come through that are going through rehab.
Okay.
And as of, I'm going to say, a couple of weeks ago when I was there, 90% of the heroin addicts who got checked found out they had no heroin. It was all fentanyl.
What?
It's hitting the street. Yeah,
it's big on the streets.
It's in Philadelphia, over on I can't think of the name of the main boulevard over there, where white folks are dying like crazy.
It must be easier. It must be easier to process.
Cheaper.
And cheaper.
Cheaper to produce. Wow.
Yep.
And I talked to a drug dealer once, and his rationale was that he only sold it. He wasn't making people use it.
Yep.
So if they died or if there was violence, he felt no responsibility.
Yeah, that's the sad part about it.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, down here in Fort Lauderdale area, Narcan, which is the thing that reverses it.
Yeah.
Police give it out constantly to drug folks. I like to give it out candy just so they can save lives. But my point being is, since it's a heroin, fentanyl thing, it's more of a Caucasian thing than cocaine and crack. And they look at it very differently. It's how can we support these people and get them off? It's not how can we arrest these people and incarcerate them. It's very different attitude about this drug compared to crack. And like I said, I'm just glad, getting back to the pot thing, dealers need to be prosecuted. Users, they need help.
You think recreational as well as addictive people should be treated the same?
Not when it comes to heroin and fentanyl, but when it comes to pot smokers, probably. And I hate to say the other dark side of the pot thing. I think the government has two parts in this. They want the tax dollars out of legalizing marijuana.
Well, that's why they legalized it. I know in our neck of the woods, I don't think I've ever driven past the marijuana store and there not been a line outside. And I don't mean two people. I mean wrapped around the building. And it doesn't matter what day of the week it is.
In the rain too.
I didn't realize that there was a pot operation that close to where we live. So I'm riding down the street, I see this thing, it says botanist on the outside. And I'm like, oh.
You think it's a garden place.
A plant store. A fancy name for the florist, And then I said, it's curious, I looked it up. I Googled it and bang. And I realized people are standing in line to get marijuana.
And don't think that tax dollar isn't influencing politicians and other people want to get their fingers in that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I watched an expose on it. And the larger dealers are driving the smaller ones out. And there's millions of dollars in taxes, financing loans for, properties so they can expand operations and purchasing all kinds of land all over the place. And I was like, what the heck?
They are. I mean, you look at the old, was it Boehner? That was his name? The old Congress. Weed was bad when he was in Congress.
Yeah.
As soon as he retired from the
weed became good?
He's a part owner of a company making major money. It was Boehner because he was the guy during Obama years.
Yeah, he was the guy who said we're not going to prove anything.
Making buku money.
And it was bad when he was in office.
It was bad when he was in office.
It was bad then, yeah. Bishop, one more thing I can do there. Last night I saw this thing with ex-President Trump. And what he said was really interesting. He said Herschel Walker, what this scam or whatever, said 20 years ago he wouldn't be able to make it. 10 years ago, maybe it would have been a problem. Because just by looking at the stuff I've been through, if he handles it right, he'll make it. Otherwise, what Trump is saying is that the way politics are now, and you take his view on it, you can get over the craziness. And when you hear the interview was the lady who just wrote this new book, and she had tapes of him talking. He sounded pretty normal. The way he made the comments like, 20 years ago it would have been a problem. 10 years ago, maybe. But now, we can, with the way things are set up, we can get through this.
So there's a distinct weakening of ethics, and really you don't have to do what your platform says you stand for.
Yeah.
Because this pro-life, but I'm responsible for 2 or 3 abortions. That's a huge swing.
That's a big swing. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Tom.
Hey, take care.
You have a good day now. Talk to you soon.
Hey, another 20 years, Bishop.
Yeah, man. Got it.
All right.
Let's go to Danny, and then we're going to Scott. Oh boy. Danny?
Good morning.
Hey,
How
man.
You doing?
How you doing?
Pastor Nick.
How you doing,
How's
sir?
everyone doing?
Good to hear from you, man. Tell us how things are going in Florida, how you and sis are making out, what's happening in your area. Give us that on the ground report.
Okay, I'll give you actually what's happening, and I thank you all for your prayers. I think the last time we spoke, you said we'll be praying for you.
Absolutely.
And thank you for praying.
Absolutely.
And what have you. And first of all, I want to just say, question that you asked is, how long have you been a listener or participating with OnPointe? And I just want to say I was a long-time listener, but I never called in.
Okay.
One day one Saturday I decided to go ahead and give you a call. And just so happened that the subject you were talking about, it was leading up to Veterans Day.
Okay.
And then I was so astonished how well you knew veterans and how you could speak and get more or less a veteran to open up.
Sure.
And for my era, it's very difficult for us to talk.
Okay.
Very difficult. And I guess it leads to the fact that we knew that we were not appreciated. The things that we did, there was no appreciation at all. So then I said, I have to go and see you because you made an announcement that you would be coming to Central Florida. I said, no matter what, and I spoke to my wife, and she said, okay, I'm going with you. And we went up, and I know it was the Lord that was with us because that particular day, I got on the elevator, and something I had left in my hotel room. And when I went upstairs to get it, first of all, in the lobby, we saw a young man, and that happened to be Gary.
Okay.
All right, and we just did a cordial nod of head and what have you. But when I got back on it, went upstairs to get what I left, which was my Bible, and I came back on. Who was on the elevator? And from that time, I was just, we were amazed how friendly you were, how welcoming you were to us. I mean, you were real, not like most of the other people that we meet that are in your position.
I appreciate that.
Not standoffish or what have you, but just the way you open up and the way that you were able to get me and help me with my particular situation, being a veteran, being not appreciated and what have you, to make it. And I really appreciate that. I just want to thank you for that.
So how many years have you been listening and calling?
I was trying to calculate and see. It's been so long, I've lost track of how long. And in fact, every Saturday, if I don't do it, it's like part of my life.
Okay.
I have to go ahead.
I know it's been as long as at least as long as I've been coming to Bishop Sharona's church.
Yes.
And that's got to be 18 years at least, 16 years at least. At least that much.
At least.
So we know you're in that 18-year range, listening and calling. So that's incredible. Pastor Nick, when we finally started traveling together, he would, he and I would go together and we walk through the airports and walk through the convention centers and stuff together. And he used to get a big kick out of me stopping every 6 feet to say hello to somebody.
not in Kansas anymore. Like, oh, what do you think, man?
And one time we were in Florida, I think, and he said, "Man, just give me your coat. Just give him your coat, man." But I remember one instance. We were in Orlando, and we didn't know a guy had been following us around for like 2 days.
Yep.
And the guy finally approached us after about 2 days, 2.5 days of following us around. And he said, "I owe you an apology." I said, "What is that? Why? Do I know you?" He says, "No, you don't know me. I used to watch you on TV and I stopped." I said, "Why?" He said, "Because I all of a sudden just didn't like it anymore." I said, "Okay, so what do you want to talk to me about now?" I'm paraphrasing, of course, because it's been a while. And he said, "Well, I've been following you guys for 2 days." He says, "And you talk to everybody. You take pictures with everybody. You take time. It doesn't matter whether they're famous or not." And Pastor Nick's standing there looking, because Pastor Nick's on guard now because the guy says he's been followed for 2 days.
Come on, man.
I'm like, I felt the hair go up on the back of his neck, man. He's like, "Okay, I got to get ready to fight here." But that's what the man said to us. But it was amazing to me was how he changed his opinion about us and had never talked to us.
Right. You know, I was like, there's a story in the Bible that says that they sent out spies to view Jesus and had to come back with a report. They wanted to know what the report is, and then their report was, "I've never seen a man that can speak the way that man speaks." They thought they were going to bring back a bad report, but they brought back a good report. And I have nothing but the best. But the thing I wanted to talk with you about, Bishop, is that you have a saying that it depends on who does what,
who determines what.
Right.
Who it is determine what happens.
We had a disaster here in Florida, and what amazed me is that they let them get away with it. We had a senseless loss of life, a senseless loss of property. 2 weeks ago.
Where?
Here in Florida. We had a storm to come through.
Right.
And those that know me well, and it will be March. And I always will tell you, well, I'm getting ready for hurricane season. I know a hurricane is coming. So let me go ahead and get ready now. Why would I wait, being the governor, 1 day before it hits?
Wow.
To tell people to evacuate from islands. They don't have a bridge. They have to get on a boat in order to evacuate. The second question, why would I allow them to go ahead and have trailers? On the east coast of Florida, especially where we live, trailers are outlawed. You can't have a trailer. You can't get a brand new trailer. You can get one that's grandfathered in. But as far as you putting a trailer and then more or less put it on a beach,
they won't let you do it. It's illegal.
Can't do it. Like I was explaining to you before, they have what they call the Miami-Dade law, a building code. You can't build a building, put a roof on a building, if you don't have it strapped down. You got to have it. How did they allow these people to build these buildings on the beach without being strapped down, then made out of wood, not wood bricks? And we are so amazed, and then they act like, well, we gave them a 1 day warning. No, in order to do that, to evacuate, you need at least 5 days to a week to get out.
True.
How can all of these people get on one bridge to get out?
Because they can't.
And they just let it go by. Nobody addressed that.
No one addressed it at all?
No one addressed it. They said, well, we gave them 1 day notice. That was it. And then if you have to evacuate, if they're not going to the door and say, get out, you got to go. That's the way it is here in South Florida. You got to go. Get off the beach. Get out of there. But if what they're saying, well, they decided to stay. That's okay.
When did that become a law?
I don't know.
Wow.
And then to build on stilts, you in the middle of the bay, you put your house on stilts. The Bible even tells you, don't build on sand. Go to the solid rock.
Oh my goodness. So you guys, your home came through everything okay?
We came through. We made it through good this time. The last storm we had, we lost our roof.
Literally lost the roof?
Well, portions of it came off because what happens in a hurricane, everyone thinks that it's the hurricane itself, but the hurricanes, they spew or they develop tornadoes. Okay. We could actually see the tornado coming. And my wife, she's saying, oh, somebody's outside throwing plates. I said, honey, those are not plates. That's the tile off the roof. we literally have clay tile on our roof. Okay. And we don't have the regular asphalt tile. Okay. We have clay. Okay. That gives you extra weight. And that was, some of our tile was thrown, the force of the tornado put it 2 feet in the ground. Really? The tile. That's how much force. I mean, we had street name signs 5 blocks away that ended in our yard. Amazing. Because most people don't know that hurricanes birth tornadoes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. They just pop. They just pop out of them. Well, man, I'm glad you guys are okay. Yes. And I know my sister had all the supplies there. All the supplies. We had water for the neighborhood. I must compliment her on that. And she does. She prepares us, gets us ready. In fact, when we were getting ready we were doing a little remodeling. The thing now is showers. Everyone wants to go ahead and have a shower in the restroom. I had to decide whether or not I wanted a bathtub or not because of the fact I could put water into a bathtub. That's right. And use it. That's right. A shower, I can't. So that was my decision there, with the tub. So different things like that. So we were prepared for everything. But I didn't know until yesterday we were working on a project from one of the kids in school. Me and Raina were working on her social studies project. I didn't know that the Everglades provides water to over 8 million Floridians. That's it. I didn't know that. Yes. Amazing. That's our water supply. So the Everglades is your water supply? Yeah, because what's happening is in the metropolitan areas, they have contaminated groundwater. Okay. So our main source is that that's why Lake Okeechobee is so precious to us, and we want to keep them away from it. And it's a big fight about that. Is that with the sugar industry, planting and farming and what have you, they want to go ahead with their fertilizers and contaminate everything. Yeah, well, we learned about Okeechobee yesterday, and what's threatened is that is just what you said, salt water and pollutants from industry. Right. And they're trying to find a way to keep that from invading the Okeechobee swamp. But the Everglades is responsible for a lot of water, and I didn't know that until yesterday. And I guess our listeners may not have known it either. So now you know about the Everglades and St. John's River. Now, St. John's doesn't supply you all with water, does it? Well, it's a natural flow. It starts all the way up in Jacksonville. You know a lot of this. Doc, this fourth grade social studies, Doc. Yeah, it starts up in Jacksonville and flows all the way down to the end of Florida with the Everglades. Everglades is actually a river of grass, and it actually goes into the swamp where the water actually moves all the way to the tip of Florida. Yeah, man, we got to go. Okay. Thanks for the social studies lesson this morning. No, thank you, Bishop. Tell my sis I said hey. Will do. Bye-bye. We're going to Scott in Vineland. Scott, good morning.
Bishop Evans, Pastor Nick, what's going on? Hey, man.
Thanks for calling On Point.
No problem. I've been trying to call. I had the wrong number. I had the wrong number, but I'm glad I was able to get in contact with you guys. Yeah. The Herschel Walker thing, if I may, I think it's more than just him being a Uncle Tom. Like you said, I think it's really something wrong with him. Just, I don't know if it's maybe to pull African Americans in, but how he's going about it. But my whole thing is I think it's really something wrong with him, not to make fun of him, but I think it's more than just being an Uncle Tom. How do you guys feel about, how he's going about and what he's saying?
We didn't call him Uncle Tom. We called him a token.
They call him a token. Okay.
Okay, token.
That was my words. Now, the token is not on his part. The token is on them presenting him like, hey, here's this black guy. We got one. Y'all follow him. So,
And it's strategic.
Yeah.
You know, and they realize that people like celebrities.
Yeah.
And he certainly was a celebrity, and they're like former athletes, and he certainly was that. But, you know, because we elect actors as presidents, you know, and we elect weightlifters as governors in this country. We elect professional wrestlers as governors in this country. So there is a celebrity, there's a desire to be connected to celebrity that's very strong, that makes people kind of ignore who they are to elect them to an office that is absolutely, and I mean a lot of times these celebrities have no qualifications for the office they're running for.
None at all.
Absolutely.
None at all.
Absolutely.
You know, and I would not, how can I say this? I know a lot of professional football players. I know a lot of them that are retired. And I know a lot of them that are suffering right now from the brutality of that game. They've got plenty of money, but they're suffering from the brutality of the game.
Yes.
And it absolutely affects their cognition, the way they talk, the way they process information. Some of them is mood swings. I mean, you know, some of the guys that I'm closest to are having a real hard time with their lives now. And I wonder sometimes, and he took a lot of contact.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
Yes, he did. And I agree with you, Bishop. Look at Junior Seau, beloved player for the San Diego Chargers, and just had everything. Just gave back to community restaurants, and he shot himself. There's a guy from the Eagles. I can't call his name right now.
I know who you mean. I know who you mean.
Yeah, he just bugged out. But you're absolutely right. Those concussion things are serious. You look at the guy from the Dolphins, the quarterback. He was staggering on a Sunday night game.
I watched that.
They should have never let him.
They should have never let him play the second half.
No.
In the next
absolutely.
game, like,
and the
let him
doctor
sit for a
got
couple
fired
weeks out.
for that. And there's going to be some more coming down the pike. But that's all I have. Love you guys, and Bishop will be in contact. I'll be in contact.
Talk
with
to you,
soon.
man. Take it easy now.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. That was Scott from Vineland. Now, supposedly, we got Kiefe on line one. Let's see how much time we have. We're doing good. Morning, Kiefe. Good morning, Kiefe.
Hey, Bishop and Pastor Nick, how are you guys?
How are you, man? Long time no hear from. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just been busy and stuff like that and everything else. I know y'all answered my question that I posted in the comments earlier. My other question is, if we're under a Democratic-Republican war for the United States, and, you know, they're saying that, the Republicans aren't going to do nothing, or the Democrats are not going to do nothing. What can we speculate about who's going to win this, who is going to win that? But my thing is this: are we ever going to have like one, let's say, a Republican president in office to change the whole landscape, or is it just going to be the same? But whoever goes in office, president's office.
Okay, I'm not sure I follow your question. Are you saying the overall view of politics, and this is very simplistic, so it is not complete, is that Republicans are concerned with business, historically,
right,
and that Democrats historically are concerned with the working people.
Yeah.
So that's where the major division happens. A lot of Republican politics, and this is not them exclusively, because Democrats have business interests also. A lot of Republican politics has to do with business, hiring people, and they tend to legislate laws and support conditions that support that group.
Right.
Democrats historically have been about middle class, working folk, poor folk, which makes up most of the population of the country.
Right.
So the emphasis for the two parties seems to be less people with Democrats, more people with Democrats and less people with Republicans. We've always said that the Republicans don't seem to be as concerned about the working man. Democrats historically have seemed to be concerned with working people. But I'm not sure, unless the Republican agenda, and I've got tons of Republican friends, unless that agenda becomes more humane, they will never be able to, since they'll be like Mitt Romney was. He said, I'm not going to be everybody's president. That was a very revealing statement. I'm not trying to be everybody's president.
My other part of the question is this. I don't know how I can say it, but my thing is, because I've followed some things on social media and stuff like that, and I was wondering. Now I understand that they have Trump under watchful eye, they have Biden under watchful eye.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Trump will, despite the allegations of what he's going through, do you think he has a chance of rerunning, or do you think someone else besides him can run for president?
I think he's making some critical mistakes. I think number one, his legal problems are just mounting up. I think the Southern District of New York is for him the worst possible district that you want pursuing you, because they pursue mobsters and security exchange criminals. They go after money people. So to have them on his tail is not a good thing. The other thing that's significant to me is that he's making some mistakes with major shot callers in his party. I don't know if you can say to McConnell what he said recently and think McConnell is not going to react on some level. I think that McConnell will give a public face like he isn't reacting, but I think he will start moving things behind, because I don't think McConnell's going to take that.
Right.
And he's made those kinds of mistakes with people that kind of disagree with him. And then I think McConnell's going to be a little different than Cruz maybe. I don't think McConnell's going to sit by while this guy insults his wife.
Right.
He's too political savvy to.
Yeah, he's not going to just react. Yeah. But he will plot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And my last thing, and then I know you guys got to go. What is the probability of certain things in the U.S. happening? Because I figured
like what? Like what, Keefe? Certain things like what?
All right, we're sending money everywhere else, like the Ukraine war with Russia, and we're sending our troops over there. I can understand all that, but do they think of fixing their own backyard with problems in the U.S.?
The alarming part about American politics is this: we will send $100 billion overseas.
Right.
And say that's a good use of funds.
Okay.
But we won't spend $20 billion to eliminate homelessness and hunger in the United States.
Right.
It is the inequity and the lack of responsiveness to the real problems of our own country. But you notice how quickly the money was approved to help. I always get ready to call them Warsaw. Where are they fighting the war at right now, Keith? Ukraine.
Ukraine and Russia.
Yeah, Ukraine. So you notice how fast the money was legislated. I mean, it was almost like it was overnight.
Right.
And actually, in our American process of politics, that was overnight. When it takes years to get something passed that's going to help people that are living right here in this country.
Right.
Like, I've got a pet peeve. I think that the veterans' hospitals should be the finest hospitals in the country, if not competing with the finest hospitals. Right. I don't see why veterans feel as though, well, I don't want to go to the veterans hospital. I want to go somewhere else because I'm not going to get the right care there. I think that's a travesty. I don't think veterans should be homeless. I don't think homelessness should be a problem in a nation that can consistently send hundreds of billions of dollars to other countries to help rebuild something. And I don't mind them doing that, but if you're going to do that, why not spend some money here at home?
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, that's exactly where I'm coming from.
Fix the darn roads.
Yeah.
Get rid of homelessness. Feed some folk. Yeah. I mean, why is that such a cognitive problem?
Right.
That stupid belief that you have the benefit of living in America, you can make it like everybody else.
You can't.
And
that's the problem. Come on. That's the problem right there.
It's not equal.
Yeah, it's not equal. And then the foreign countries that we do help out, let's be real here, they're only in the best interest of the United States.
Absolutely.
Because other countries that are going through the same thing, we're not helping, we're not sending no money. Let's be real here.
But all right, let's get in closer to home.
Yeah.
So we got immediate responses to the hurricane in Florida. and in the Carolinas.
I send my prayers out to Florida on that one.
But Puerto Rico is still suffering from the last hurricane.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Yep.
Who determines what?
Who determines what?
I send my prayers out to Puerto Rico and Florida because they're the hardest hit because they're surrounded on both sides of water.
You know, so all those islands that are attached to us, connected either U.S. or whatever they call it, relationships. Yep. You know, we can send billions of dollars to fight a war, but we don't have billions of dollars, a couple $1 billion, to help restore people that are politically connected to us.
Yep.
It makes no sense.
True.
So we're taking care of everybody else, but we're not taking care of our own country. That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah. Yep.
That is true.
Yep. Take care of people outside your house, but we'll take care of people in your house.
It's crazy. It's crazy, but they call it a good use of funds. Keefe, thank you for calling us, man.
No problem, man. No problem.
Good talking to you.
God bless you and happy pastoral week.
Thank you.
Anniversary.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye. So this month is our, what number church anniversary is this?
55 years, I believe, yep.
55?
Yep.
We just getting to be a senior citizen?
Yeah, right, yeah. Start getting
Got a young church, man. 55 years. We're celebrating church anniversary this month. I believe it's the fourth Sunday of this month.
Yes, sir.
So we want everybody to prepare. Of course, our members know what we normally traditionally do. We have an anniversary offering. Is that one of our first fruits offerings?
The 23rd, another first fruit offering, yes.
Yeah, another first fruit offering this month as we prepare to celebrate 55 years of our church being in existence, which is amazing. The journey has been wonderful. We want everybody to join us tomorrow, 8 a.m. virtually, of course, 11 a.m. we have a live service. Of course, we are observing all of the protocols we need to observe to keep your family safe. I'm a little disturbed, Pastor Nick, because I understand there are some people that disagree with the fact that we're trying to keep their family safe. It doesn't make any sense. The casual attitude towards safety, not wanting to do what needs to be done to keep the families of the church safe, not just the members of the church, but their families. I find that to be a little alarming. That people would have a problem with the protocols we're putting in to keep them safe and to keep their families safe. But this is what we have to do to make sure that your exposure here is minimal. So we encourage people to register, follow the protocols. We're having a tremendous time in church. We are keeping the numbers limited. I hear people are saying that not a lot of people are coming back. They don't know. We're keeping the numbers limited on purpose. It's not that people aren't coming. We're holding the number so we can manage the number, so we can manage the exposure and make sure we continue to do the right things as the number increases. We're going to increase it again this month. We'll probably increase it next month depending on how things work out. So just be patient, register for service, come on and join us. If you don't want to do that, join us online because we're having a tremendous time in the Lord. So 11 o'clock will be live indoors tomorrow for those who register. And registration for next week's service starts tomorrow. Is that right?
Tomorrow at 6 o'clock, yeah.
Tomorrow at 6 p.m. Is that Sunday at 6?
Sunday at 6. Every Sunday at 6.
Sunday at 6. Yeah, that is tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, Sunday at 6. Sunday at 6. Our Harvest Festival is coming up. Tell us a little bit about the Harvest Festival, Pastor Nick.
Outdoor festival. We're going to have a whole harvest theme with the corn stalks, all that stuff out there. We're going to try to do a bonfire, trunk or treat for the kids. They can walk around, get candy from people's cars, games, music, all that good stuff, food.
Yeah.
The funnel cake truck is coming this time.
Okay.
So we'll have that on the 28th.
Now, they promised me last time it didn't show up, but it's going to show up this time?
Yeah.
Praise the Lord. If I'm going off the wagon,
yeah,
I'm going to go off because of funnel cake.
Well, I got some last time. So you
didn't get it last time? I didn't get any last time.
Chef was making them.
Yeah, but they said he had to stop because something happened.
Because something happened to the machine.
To the fryer, yeah, man.
Yeah.
I went to get one and it was like, ain't none.
Ain't none, sorry.
I was like, so we invite everybody to the Harvest Festival on the 28th of this month. Now, of course, if you have a prayer request, send that to social@gotobethany.com. That's social@gotobethany.com. And always remember, subscribe to David G. Evans 1 and BBC of NJ. That's David G. Evans 1 and BBC of NJ on YouTube. And subscribe to our podcast platforms, DGEMS, DGEMS, and OnPointe. Those are our podcast platforms. For Pastor Nicholas Smith, I'm Bishop David G. Evans. We're so glad you joined us today. Thank you for making the program a success once again. We want you to remember now, faith acts like a thing is so, even when it's not so, that it might be so. Stay strong. We look forward to seeing you in worship tomorrow. And remember, God loves you, and we do too.